Soccer fans, Soccer 605 here with Coach Dave Dancler, the head coach of the Washington Warriors. Coach, thanks for spending a little time with us today.
Sure, thanks for coming over.
So you got the guys out, they're running toward the end of the first week. Looks like you got a pretty big crew here. How they looking so far to you?
You know, we're still going through tryouts. Today's what, day 4. So we're getting a little closer to knowing a little bit about these guys. We have about 45 guys out, and we're going to keep about 36. So we're trying to make that decision. It's due by Saturday noon. So that's probably our biggest challenge. But I like what we have seen so far.
You know, when I was coaching high school, that was always the worst, most agonizing thing for me, was telling which players goodbye.
Yeah, we had the parents meeting, the activities association night at the school on Tuesday night, and that, again, I told them, that's the toughest part of my job. Once we get the roster set, it's smooth sailing from there.
So how are you, what's your makeup going to be this year? I know you had some really good players go off to college last year, so what do you got coming up this year? Yeah,
we had 3-4 guys take off playing college ball this fall. We'll have probably 6 or 7 seniors. Our junior class is not as large as we'd like to see. There's only 3 of those fellas roaming around. But the sophomore class is huge, the freshman class is huge, and the quality's high. So we're hopeful.
Well, that's, you know, kind of a double-edged sword there. You know, if you have a lot of sophomores, that just makes them a lot better in 2 years, too.
Yeah, if we can avoid ugly showing up and not taking too many lumps, it'll be a nice ride.
So, you know, there's going to be a couple little change-ups here. You still get to play your good old friend, Coach Grossman, over there at O'Gorman, despite the mix, or not the mix-up, but the change-up to South Dakota Activities Association. Do you think that's going to have much effect on state tournament later?
You know, we're still trying to figure that out ourselves. You know, obviously we're headed to Rapid and not to Aberdeen, and so we won't see our Aberdeen buddies this year at all for the first time ever in high school soccer. You know, it's kind of a weird thing. But we did pick up a friendly with OG, and we just got to play it out and see what happens. We'll be a lot smarter after 1 year of this stuff.
I wonder, you know, are you hearing any rumblings around the school or the district here about the thoughts on either going with High School Activities Association or not?
If we had our choice, I would say if we had our choice, everyone should do the same thing. We're all sanctioned. We're all unsanctioned. Well, it seems like we should all be sanctioned, but my wallet can't make that happen, so we're just going to let it play out. But it would be great if we could get there.
Well, you know, and that's kind of the thing. It's not the best time, you know, with budget constraints and stuff, to be absorbing another program. But, you know, there's a lot of people saying the rest of the sports ought to be looking at how soccer funds itself and switch to that.
I think there's a lot of things that we do well within this thing called club soccer. I am not picking sides or picking on anybody, but I think if we put our head together, we could come up with the dough. There are a lot of different ways to make it happen, and I'm not necessarily suggesting that the government pay for everything. So I just think there's a way to get it done because there's interest there.
If there's a will, there's always a way. So when do you open up, and where and who against?
You know, we're going to travel to Pierre, I think, on the 17th. I believe that's the right date, a Saturday. We go there and we play in the bowl, and we hope to come out alive. The next match, I think our next match is then we turn around the next week and head to Spearfish, maybe. So we get a couple of tough matches right out of the chute.
Yeah, people are, you know, the preseason polls are coming in. There's a lot of people looking at Spearfish for that upper part.
I think so. They're always a quality team, well coached. The guys have been there forever, and the kids play hard. Those are 2 of the 3 things you need. The third is luck, but great coaching and kids play hard.
Yeah, and they have, since Ronnie Tice moved out there, you know, they've developed such a great soccer culture in that town. It's just everywhere you go, they're playing soccer.
Yep, and I think, again, our boys played together years ago, Tice and I, and maybe 10, 12 years ago, and it's just been a high-quality program all the way through.
Well, we hope that you continue on with your high-quality program here at Washington. You know, you've got a good, solid program year after year after year. I know back when I was coaching, you were probably the guy I hated worst to play because he always made such great halftime adjustments.
Well, we enjoy playing the game. You know, if you saw the USA women play today, man, we could go through a brick wall after watching that tape. So if we could just catch, if we could teach a way to catch that sort of vision, that the game never stops till the clock is out. I don't care if it's the 123rd minute. And today we held on for a 2-1 victory over a really tough opponent in China. It's just like, how do you teach that to 14 through 17-year-olds? You know, we're talking about grown women, but just to get the fire started in the heart of a 14 to 17-year-old and then watch them play as they go through their college career, it's pretty cool.
Well, those kids all came from somewhere, you know, and every one of those kids, women now have had to fight and scratch and claw for a job sometime along the way, so I'm sure that's a big part of it. So, Coach Dancler, once again, thanks very much for spending some time with us. I can't wait to have our Saturday afternoon visits for Coach's Corner, and I'm sure we'll catch up with you a time or two more out on the soccer field.
Well, we appreciate what you do in 605 because we've got to figure out a way to stay together and communicate. And it doesn't seem like a big deal, but it's a really big deal because we can go to one place and we can hear what our buddies are saying, thinking, talking, and it's really cool. So thanks much.
Thanks, Dave.